Let's start 2019 sum now. This is also cash flow statement which I'm going to do. As I said, in this particular video, I'm going to teach you 3 years of cash flow which we have done on 2020 completely. Explain to you it's an indirect method. Then I'm going to do 2019 a direct method. I just want to take the exact area where I'm going to start. I think it is the last 10-mark question which you can see here. So let's start with the first particular thing. We can read the question, understand what they are given, and then we can be able to start the sum. The balances of some of the assets and liabilities of Nihal PLC were as follows: trade receivables 250,000 and 180,000, trade payables 110,000 and 140,000. Here your opening balance is here 2018, your closing balance is here 2019. And they are not given the opening balance of other operating expense payable. Cash and cash equivalent, they have given the opening balance of 120,000, but they have not given the final values. The following transactions took place in this company during the year ending 31st/3/2019. Total sales and purchases for the year were rupees 1,200,000 and rupees 550,000 respectively. All sales and purchases were made on credit basis. The cash discounts allowed to trade debtors during the year was rupees 30,000. As I said, it's direct method. You can say they are saying the amount of discount allowed, what's the sales they have made, what's the purchase they have made. So you need to find out how much cash has been received from the debtor and how much cash we have made to the payable, which is supplier. Then the total operating expense for the year including depreciation is 35,000 and 95,000 was your depreciation is 35,000. 95,000 was your total operating expense for the entire. Then we have the interest and income tax expense for the year is 25,000 and 65,000 respectively. And the interest paid and income tax paid during the year was 20,000 and 75,000. So they have already given it directly these amounts. So you don't want to find it out because 20,000, 75,000 on previous sum, we just found the interest tax and income tax by calculating. But here on this adjustment, they have given it directly, so you don't want to worry about this 25 and 65. Then we have total interim dividends paid finance tax 53,000. During the year, the company issued 30,000 ordinance at 20 each. The share issues include capitalization of reserves. So finally, we need to find out how much issues they have made. In that, you need to deduct the capitalization as we did on the previous sum. The money due on balance share issue has been received during the year. During the year, the company paid 220,000 settlement of as a long-term loan. So they have paid a long-term loan amount also. On 1st/4/2018, the company purchased a new motor vehicle on cash. On the same day, an office equipment was sold for 250,000 on cash with a profit of 80,000. So we have made a amount of value, like we have sold it for cash with a profit of 80,000. So we know how much is the actual money we have received, because they're saying that the office equipment was sold for 250,000 on cash with a profit. So in this 250,000, there's a profit of 80,000. So we need to find out the cash generated from it. As a net result of this transaction and depreciation, the carrying amount of property plant equipment has increased during the year to 105,000. So now carrying amount of property plant equipment has gone for 205,000. Have they given any other balances? So let's start the sum on finding out what is the trade receivables agreement, then trade receivables receipts and trade payables payment. So let's start the first part. Now this is Nihal PLC. I'll write here Nihal PLC. And I'll write here cash flow statement for the year ended 31st/3/2009. So I have recorded the name. Always remember to start with the topic with the particular company's name, and then you need to be able to write what type of statement is it, cash flow statement. So I'm going to start with the next adjustment of the sum. What we have? The first one, operating activities. So I'll write a small topic, operating activities or cash flow generated from operating activities. So I'll write a cash flow from operating activities. Always better you write the topic so you won't go wrong anywhere on this area. So I put a small. Almost done. Now I just want to know cash received from trade debtors. How do I find this? And Right here working number 1, because they are not given this, I just need to find this. So only in this in direct method your workings most probably will be on this area in cash paid to suppliers or paid creditors. Suppliers also okay. I'll take this as working number 2. And then we have the third one, operating expense or expense paid. Working number. Now I'm gonna find out these workings. What I'm gonna do is I'll write here the values cash received from creditors. We put this in find out the debtors. I just want to write debtors account. Start with the brought forward and carried forward. Let me move on to the sum. Let's have these final balances. Yes. And yes. So what is the brought forward balance of the sum? You can see on the sum, the brought forward balance of trade receivables 180,000 and 250,000 is your closing balance. So I'll take 180 on the debit side and 250 on the credit side. I'm taking in thousands, so I'll not show the value of how much is it. So here I have taken 180 and 250. Then I'll move on to the number of sales we have made. What is the amount of sales they have actually made on the sum? They made a sales worth. You can see the total sales was 1,200,000. Purchase is not relevant to debtors account. It is a part of payables account. So I'll take sales 1,200,000, and there was cash discount allowed was 30,000. So I'll take sales 1,200,000. Right. Give me a second. The sales amount is how much, guys? It is 1,200,000. So I'll write sales amount. What is the amount? Sales 1,200. So here there was discount allowed 30,000. So discount allowed 30,000. Now what I would do, I will take 1,000 to this values 1,380 is my debtors account. In 1,380, I'm going to deduct this 250 and 30, which is going to be 280. So I'll get a value of 1,100. 1,100. So this is the amount cash received or cash. So I'll take 1,100 as the money which we have received. It's a plus positive figure. I just need to know what is my payables account. So what I would do, I'll move on to my payables account. I'll open our payables account. So here I'll write creditors account or trade payables account. Right here brought forward on the credit side because it's a liability, and carried forward on the debit side. Now, what is the brought forward balances and carried forward balances? I'll move on to my sum. What is the carried? Yeah, here I have 140,000 and 110,000. So 140,000, which means I'll take my brought forward 140,000 on the credit side, and carried forward is going to be 110. I just need to know what is the amount of purchase we have made on the sum. We made a purchase of 550,000 respectively. So I'll take these purchases because purchase debit in purchase account, credit account, payables account. I'll write here purchases. So how much is the purchase value? 550. So 550 plus 140 will give me a value of 690,000. After finding 690,000, I'm not yet done. I just need to write the same value on the debit side because credit side is higher than the debit side. So 110 if I deduct, I'll get 580. This is the cash which I have paid for the suppliers. So I'll take this 580 here. But it's a deduction because money is going out of the business. So 580 will be a minus value. So I have taken minus value. Now I'm going to take cash expense paid. So I need to open up an expense account on this working number 2. Yeah. I have removed the, give me a second, guys. I think I removed the receivables also. I don't want to remove it, so I'll just have a copy of it here. So I can quickly. So I just have the correct workings, working number 2. Then we'll move on to the next part, guys. The third one, which is the the operating expenses we have paid. So I'll write here the third account. So see the cost, copy it down. Working number 3, right? So working number 3 is a operating expense account. How do we start this? We'll move on to the sum. It says that on operating expense account that they had a balance of 95,000 on profit and loss account. It includes the amount of depreciation 35,000. So I'll need to take profit and loss account debit means operating expense account to be credit. So write P and L, profit and loss. What is the balance we have taken? 95, and it includes the depreciation. I'll show depreciation on the other side to know how much we have made the payment. So depreciation is 35,000. And then we had opening balance and closing balance when it comes to this. Let me have, is there any other opening expenses and closing balance expenses? Other operating expenses payable, they're given a earlier of 15,000 because that's closing balance of operating expenses. You can see here, it's 2019 they have taken, so this is closing balance. So I'll take 2019 closing balance on the credit side. I think forward, debit side. So we just 15, right? So 35 plus 15 is 50, and the difference of 95 of 50 will give you a value of how much, guys? You will get a value of 45. So here I'll write cash paid is 45. So in total, I'll get 95 on both sides. So I'll write here 45. I will take it to operating expense paid as 45. I got the amount 1100 minus 580 minus 45. It'll give me a value of 475. I can write here net cash flow generated from operating activities. These 3 things we had 3 adjustments. That's how it is, guys. The direct method you need to have a lot of workings on first few transactions. After that, it's going to be not that hard. It's going to be the same way as we did for the investment and finance. So I'll write here cash flow from investment activities. Small topic. So after writing this, now I'll move on to my sum and just see what is my cash flow from operating activities. Total interim dividends, they are given 60. I have one more particular thing I forgot to do it in my operating activities. So I'll just make this adjustment. Yeah, what is that? Let me show you. I will take my interest and tax paid. So I'll take this value. I'll take here. They're given the interest tax and interest paid and tax paid. So the interest paid cash, they gave it on the sum. This value should be taken. So what is the interest paid they have taken on the sum? They have taken interest paid of I just see the third, fourth adjustment. This is the expense for the year, but actually they paid was 20 and 75. So I'll take these 2 values, 20,000, 75,000. Deduct it along with it, 20,000. So 75,000. So I have taken the values exactly. So I'm going to take it on the other side. So what I do, I take my final values. I got 1,100, deduct 580, deduct 45, deduct 20, and deduct 75. So my value is going to be 380. This is my net cash generated from operating activities. Don't do the same mistake which I did. Like you just need to have always an opening eye on what you're doing. If not, you will go wrong on the sum. So operating long balance operating activities. Now here cash flow from investment activities. I'll move on to adjustment number 5. Almost 4 adjustment is done. Interim dividend is a part of finance activities. As they're going on the flow, I can go on the flow if you want. So on the last sum they didn't go like that. Yeah, I can move on cash flow from finance activities also. Whichever is easy for you. On last time I did investment and I came to the finance activities later. But in this, let's do it in a different way. So cash flow from finance activities. I'll write a small topic and keep. I'll go on order as per the adjustment. On last time I just jumped from for the last one I just finished the investment and came to finance. But here I'll move on in order. In both ways you can do on your paper. So then we have interim total dividends paid is 60,000. So this dividend paid is the money of finance. I'll write here interim dividend paid 60. I can write, you don't want to write paid, but you can write interim dividend. So I'll write 60 here. Right. So then we move on to the next part. Interim dividend 60 is almost done. We have the next presentation of value. What is the value we have? We have the next. During the year, the company issued 30,000 ordinary shares at 20 each. The share includes capitalization of reserves 200,000. The money due on balance share issue has been received during the year. We have 30,000 issue of shares for 20 rupees. So I'll take share issue. You can show the calculation here itself. You don't want to go for different margin. 20, we give you 60,000, 600,000 minus you have capitalization reserve 200,000. You can show like this, and value is going to be 400. So we got a value of 400. So it's plus. Then we move on to the next part. It's 400,000. I took it as 400. We have the next adjustment. During the year, the company paid 220,000 as a part of settlement of long-term loan. This also falls under how to say, this also falls under finance activities because it's a long term loan. Okay, so long term loan they have settled 220. I'll take 220. Almost done. I think finance activities are also done because we took all the adjustment and finished it. So I'll take here yeah, minus 60 plus 400. Okay, plus 400 minus 220. I got 120, so I'll write net cash to finance. Okay, so now I just need to do only investment. I'll do it now fast. Moving on to the adjustment, we have what do we have? On 1st for 2018, the company purchased a motor vehicle. So they are saying the company had a motor vehicle and they are purchasing it on 1st for 2018. On the same day, an office equipment was sold for 250,000 on cash with a profit of 80,000. As a net result of this transaction and depreciation, the carrying amount of property, plant, and equipment has increased during the year 205,000. Now, this is a very tricky question. You should be very careful when you're doing this adjustment. Let's do it. The question doesn't say how much was the purchase, and the question doesn't say how much was the money received in disposal. On previous sum, both was given. Like they didn't give the purchase, but we found out. Here also they are not given the purchase, but they are just plainly given, not even the opening balance of property, plant, equipment. A very tricky sum, so you should be very careful when doing this adjustment. Let's move on to the disposal account first of all, and prepare a disposal account and know what is the cash generated from the disposal, how much was the value the asset was sold, because then only we can find out the property, plant, equipment. So I'm going on to my working number 4. Yeah. So what is working number 4 says that? Working number 4 says disposal. So you all know that the sum they have sold a vehicle, but we just need to know what is the value they sold it for. They sold it for. So they sold it for 250, but I just want to write how much was the disposal's value to know the value of the cost. You don't want to do this, we can easily find out. Here the brought forward was not known, but we know the gain was 80. So profit on disposal was 80. Loss on disposal will not come on the disposal account credit side because here credit means income statement will become. debit. Then we have sold it for cash 250. So I'll take the difference. What's the amount they have sold for? 250 minus 80 will give me a value of 170. So this is the amount they have sold it for. But we all know that cash is 250. I can easily take. We have received cash sales of what is that? Is there say property plant equipment? Is there say any other terms on this question? Motor vehicle. So I'll write here sales on motor vehicle. Motor vehicle. So what is the value we have sold it for? Or sold motor vehicle, whatever it is, you can write that. Doesn't matter. Like 250. But I just need to know purchase of motor vehicle. So this is there on there they purchase a motor vehicle also. So I just need to know what is the value of purchase of motor vehicle. So that I need to open up a property plant equipment account or know the level of purchase. Here I'll say property plant equipment. Because are they saying motor vehicle purchase or property plant equipment? Let me have a look again. Property plant equipment. So they said property plant equipment, right, guys? So we'll move on. Disposal, purchase of motor vehicle. We'll write purchase of property plant equipment. Purchase of PPE or property plant equipment. Don't write short terms in exams, guys. I'll take a different account. Another working I'm going to do. And write the working numbers actually. If you want, you can write it down. From the previous sum to now. Here we had W1, W2, W3, and disposal I didn't take actually. I just find the disposal amount. So I can just directly move on to working number 5 here. W5. I'll write property plant equipment account. Plant and equipment account. Now, property plant equipment account says that brought forward and carried down. Sorry, brought forward should be on the debit. It's an uncurrent asset. Brought forward and carried forward. We don't know what is the brought forward balances because they are not given. But they have said that the value of the carried forward was 205 because it has increased to 205. You can see on the last line they have said the carrying amount of the property plant equipment has increased this year 205. That's the final balance I will consider because that's the last year balance they have given 205 on this side. And we had a disposal which we already found out, which was 170. Almost done, but there's one more thing we need to take: depreciation. What was the depreciation value they are given on the sum? On the adjustment, they give depreciation as the interest. Yeah, that's the operating expense for there include depreciation. The depreciation is 35, so I will take that on the credit side as we did on the previous sum, 35. When I take 170, 35, and 205, I'm getting a value of 410. So this is the level of purchase. There's no opening balances, so I'll write here purchase. So I'll take into my account working number 5. Property plant equipment working number 5. You got 410. It's a purchase, so your money is going out of the business, so it's negative value. So if I take 250 minus 410, I'll get a value of 160, right, guys? So I'll take this as minus 160. So then I have value of 380 minus 160. What is the value we have? 380 minus 160. Then we have, but I should not put the line, plus 120. So finally, I need to take my cash and cash and cash equivalent. I just want to know is it increase or decrease here? It's increase. So 380 minus 160 plus 120. 340. So we can write increase in cash flow generated during the period. I can write increase in net cash flow. Now I'm almost done, but I have one particular thing to do. Cash and cash equivalent. I need to take my final balance and see if my sum is actually correct. So right here 340 actually it was 340. It's small line so that we have taken the values in this way. Then we are going to write cash, cash, and cash equivalent. Take the beginning of the year, enter first for 2018, and the same thing, but here the year changes 31st 2019, right? So now after taking these values, I just move on to my sum again. Find out what was my cash balances. They didn't give my opening. They are given my opening balance. We need to find the closing balance. We can easily find out 120,000. So I'll take 120 is my opening. So your closing is going to be 400 because you add it together. Yes, I'll take it as a total final balance. So you get this guy. So this is the final way of understanding how to do of cash flow from 2019. This is the overall view of what I have done, guys. To see an overall view. Don't worry, guys. This working sheet will be attached. The link is attached below on the video. You can download this sheet whenever you want. Like if you guys are practicing for your exams, the sheet link is there already on the below description. You can just click the link and you can be directed to this Excel sheet. You can download it and practice when you can. And this will be exactly helpful rather than referring to the past paper. So when you have doubts, you can just see how I have done this working will be much helpful for you to score on your paper. So let's move on to the 2018 sum. Again, if you are not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. Then you can learn anytime any videos I upload in future, which is going to be helpful. Please share it to your friends that there is a channel called Commerce with MAK that they can learn commerce related subject at free cost. Advanced level business studies completely uploaded in this channel, and you just will see a lot of uploads of accounting in future. For this month, I have planned almost like 6 to 7 of past papers completely in different topics to do, and await for those uploads.